What does pride mean to me? You know what? I feel like pride is just not being ashamed. You know, being you, being yourself unapologetically, and whatever that means. Be it your sexuality, your expression, your work, your whatever, anything that you feel identifies you and that you stand in and that you're not afraid to express. What do I think of Ketchikan's queer community? When I moved here in 2017, it was practically non-existent. I felt like I was one of the only queer people in Ketchikan, and I feel that a part of what's helped the community expand a little bit is how outwardly I live my life. And as an entertainer, and as someone who is respected in the community, without hiding or making anything shadowy or secretive, I think seeing someone who is not only queer, but also of color, which they don't see a lot of that here either, it's shown a different side. What happens when Ketchikan's queer community faces bigotry? Wow, you know what? By and large, I've noticed that people rally in support. I think that when people are treated poorly, when Ketchikan sees a need to help someone who they feel needs them, is undersupported, needs them anyway, be it if you're sick, if you've had a disaster in your family, or if you just need them, they are there. Now, there are those who don't feel supportive of the queer community, but I find that those people don't matter. So Loud and Queer is just a magazine for queer people by queer people. People need to see themselves represented in media, in different organizations, so that they can have something to look to, like, hey, I feel this way. Hey, there are other people who feel this way. It's okay. Because a lot of people, especially in places like this, where you are in small communities and you may feel that you can't speak to your friends, your family, whoever, you feel alone, and that creates darkness, you know? The suicide rates in Alaska are very high. The suicide rates for queer people are very high. Combine the two, it's a problem. So if you feel alone and that you can't speak to anyone or that no one else is like you, it's never a good situation. So the goal, at least on my end of Loud and Queer magazine, is to sort of fight against that, to show people, hey, you're not alone. There are plenty of us here, and we're here to support you.
The queer community in Ketchikan is a dream. Just the amount of kindness that I've experienced, and I've only been here for a week and a half. I just like sitting at a coffee shop and someone's like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. And you chat for a few hours, and then next thing you know, they're taking you to the Ketchikan Heritage Center. They're taking you out the road, and they're like, you have to see this, you've got to come to this event. And that really challenged the things that I had heard about Ketchikan, and it really made me feel like, okay, there's a community here. Being in the school district as a queer person, it's kind of reliving my dream of being able to like be the person I hope to see. Working with these youth and hearing some of the things that they say, and I've had, even teaching in Juneau, kids be like, oh my gosh, Slay, do you know this artist? She's queer. And I'm like, yeah, I know that artist. And creating these spaces where kids can be kids and they can be themselves in whatever expression that looks like. The way they dress, the things they want to talk about, the way they open up of kids talking about not only their Ketchikan community or their Juneau community, but being like, I also have family in Metlakatla, I also have family in Yakutat, and they just blossom with this pride of who their family is beyond just these communities, but in their Southeast communities and beyond. I make these shirts that support LGBTQ plus youth, and Louise through, the hearing protectors actually reached out to me before the Sitka Week and was like, can you make a poster that just, I want people to know that they're welcome here. Seeing inclusivity in an Indigenous space, it was like the thing that I never knew as a kid of like, I held my breath for so long until I was like felt like I was gonna burst. And I remember telling my grandpa like, I'm gay. And he was like, awesome, great. Like, and it feels like in moments like that where you're seeing inclusivity in these cultural spaces, it's like that breath of relief because you know another kid stepping into this space and might be hearing it for the first time of, wait, I'm welcome here. My community loves me. And sometimes it takes that extra step to say you're included here, you matter, you're loved. Because sometimes we don't say it, we assume people know. And speaking that out loud is so powerful and life-changing for someone who may not be hearing it at home, may not be hearing it in their community. And it's so important for us to echo that so that people feel that and they know that and that they grow in their confidence and they know that we back them, that this community loves them.
What pride means to me is like, I just like it because it makes it feel like I could more be myself instead of having to actually hide who I am. And it just makes me feel more free than I used to be. Like, it makes me feel different in a good way. Growing up queer here, I've only ever met one person who's not necessarily homophobic, but he says some homophobic things. Other than that, I've never met anyone who like disrespected me because of it. I've never actually met a full homophobic person. So growing up being bisexual here just made it a lot better than it probably would be like somewhere in like a big city. I think if you believe in yourself, then you're halfway there. Like now you just have to pluck up the courage to actually tell people. I'm pretty open about it, I don't like just go around telling people that I'm queer, because personally I just think that's kind of weird. But like, I think it's good to at least like let your parents know, so it can help them like understand yourself and know like what to do. Having a supportive family I think it makes my life way better than it would be if I didn't have a supporting family. Because technically, I could die. Not because I'm like sick, but like, because there's been a lot of records of people actually committing suicide because they didn't have a respecting family. And I think having a respected family might have saved my life. I did go this year to the Queer Coffee Hour. It was extremely chill. There's just people, there was a couple kids my age, but not a whole lot. I knew all of them, and it was extremely fun. I felt like in a really safe environment, and yeah, it just made me feel nice and safe. I was actually in the Pride float, and it was really fun because I had my sister's Pride flag, using it as a cape. I was running around handing people stickers. And I just felt so alive, like the day would never end, but sadly it did.
Coming up here was a little bit hard, but over the last few years it has grown. Kids are coming out, they're feeling comfortable in the high schools and middle schools. Family or friends here in town have come out, and just seeing everyone bond together and become more visible in the community and proudly visible has just been so incredible to see. Seeing local publications in Southeast Alaska like Loud and Queer with local artists, local participants, seeing those out just like on the counter at the brewery, all around town, it's just, we're here. We've always been here, that's the thing, but now, at least in my experience, it's much more acceptable to just be who you are and come here. And so many folks who've moved here who are of my age range, the older millennial who move here seasonally, who have been here all along. We're all kind of just coming out of the woodwork as we should be. Seeing how many events we have for this Pride Month going on for all ages is just awesome. We're doing a really good job of, being there, being out, and even outside of Pride Month, like the pop-up queer bar, going to the coffee house. We're making sure that there's consistent availabilities to mingle and make friends and make community with people in our community. I like seeing our Facebook page take off more art events happening, and Ketchikan feels like a lot better place to be who I am than it was 5 years ago. I'm just proud of us, honestly.
Personally, I don't think I have any advice except just be yourself. And if you have a friend and they don't respect you for being anything about the queer community, just don't give them the time of day, because if anything, it's their loss from not hanging out with you. Because every queer person that I've ever met or that I've ever heard of seems like a really great person, and if no one wants to hang out with them personally, I say that's their problem.
I just think everyone should know that you are loved, you are appreciated, and it's okay to be you. And if anyone has a problem with who you are, it's not really about you. It's almost always about them. And that's something they should deal with themselves,
Take the time you need that feels right for you. There is no timeline for coming out.
I think what I would tell someone if they thought that they had to leave this community, Southeast has an immense queer community. It has immense allyship, and one space of hate does not mean that there's not a community of love that's got your back. I think there's a big LGBTQ plus community that's willing to bring people in, and it's just about finding those spaces.
If there's anything I've learned about the queer community, especially in Ketchikan, is that we are here to help, and we are here to make you feel comfortable and safe and good in our community. We're a family, and that's what a family's supposed to do. We're supposed to help, we're supposed to care, we are supposed to protect our own. And if we can give that opportunity to anybody, shoot, if you just see me on the street, just say hi. I'm happy to make new friends, but now that we have these spaces so out and open and visible, just give it a shot whenever you're ready.